Welcome everybody to hour one of our MogTalk 50 episode 50. 50 episode 50. That's cool, right? 1 year celebration, guys. To start us off, I brought in two of our European server guests that we've had on this show before, both being on previous job role shows. We have Krietor from our support show returning with us. You've been on the show a lot today so far, unexpectedly.
Well,
Yeah. And we also have from our healer show, Enigma. Hey, man.
Hello, how
Yeah,
are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm just looking at your face and I'm just like engaged. Like, I feel like I'm looking at you and you're like looking into my eyes.
photo, man.
It's so great. Um, anyways, I wanted to just kind of discuss with both of our awesome guests today the perspective that some people might not really think about and give everyone kind of a glimpse into what EU servers are kind of like. And to start us off, this is this thing that you guys are probably most familiar with, but recently hasn't been bad because they moved the servers over there. But you guys had to get really good with the game dealing with large amounts of latency. That's right, right?
Oh yeah.
What was your average latency y when you guys were playing?
Well, at the beginning, like right at the beginning, at least in my perspective, I had around 180 ping
Ugh,
right at the beginning of 2.0.
wow.
But then I think like around the time they released Ifrit, somehow it got lowered. So I
Mhm.
was usually playing with around 140, 130. That's without Wattfast or any kind of a
Okay.
VPN program.
So, I mean, are you like planning your moves? Like you see an action happen, and then you just say, "All right, I can walk into it now." Like
Oh
half a
no!
second before it clears
Oh
the
my
screen.
God! I raged so much during Titan Hard mode, man. I'm telling you, man. The puddles would appear. I would run out. Literally 3 seconds of time between the action of the puddle exploding, and I die like fucking miles away.
Yeah.
It was so fucking frustrating, man. I'm sorry for cursing, but it
It's
was
okay.
insanely frustrating.
Yeah, Enigma, did you have the same kind of issues with it?
Yeah, I think Titan Hard Mode was the first uh, like big deal with the
Experience.
lag. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah. Like my ping with VPN was around 185, 190. I mean, I think it was not 100% the ping issue. It was a ping issue in conjunction with how the game works.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
You know,
the
like
server
uh,
the server takes
there's
updates.
exactly, yeah, like it updates when the cast. The updates were slower, much slower on 2.0. If you remember, there were some patches that they tried to improve how much the server will register your movement, and also like a lot of people who didn't play during 1.0, I think, were not familiar with the concept of you had to watch the cast bar to go out of the skill. Like
Mm-hmm.
on my previous MMO experience, everything was animation based. So, for example, you were out of the animation, sure, you would dodge the skill. On this game, it was a bit different, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you were out of the animation 10 seconds ago, you're still gonna get hit if you were inside during the cast bar. Yeah, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and to think about that, and Creator, I know you go for pretty hardcore when content comes out. How do you
I
guys?
try to. I try to.
How would you plan for that stuff? How would you
Well,
plan? All right, guys, this is how we're going to deal with this fight with
we
lag.
need to adjust. Simple as that. I can give you the best example where we had
Hold on.
extremely
I'm going to kill you, Enigma. I swear I am.
where we had a lot of struggles. It was, for example, on A3S,
Uh-huh.
on the ad phase where we had the tethers, and
Hmm.
also on Digititis. It was extremely frustrating, like people running into each other all the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
basically, the way that we did is just the DPS would never move, and the
Hmm.
healer would go into the DPS and stay there
So
until
what
the
would you do if
debuff
they
is
were
stopped.
like knocked completely adjacent? Like you just lost, you're
I
done.
I just we would just like the DPS would move like 2 or 3 steps ahead,
Hmm.
and like the healer would cast automatically sprint before before the knockback, and he would run immediately to that person. Sometimes we had bad luck because it would be in opposite directions and it wouldn't be on time. But most of the time, it actually worked.
Huh.
Yeah.
Jesus. I mean,
And for example, for the ad phase, literally the tanks needed to stay on the line and stay there and do not move at all. That being said, like the DPS or whoever had the line needed to stay put. He could not move, and literally the tank had to go there and stay there.
mhm.
Stay there. If they moved, they were fucked.
The tether on A3S was a real annoying issue. I remember when I was in Solitude, Visual had made a GIF of how he would pick the tether and how it would not listen him. You would see him hover over the tether at least 5 to 6 times, and the tether would just not listen him.
Yeah.
I was like, are you like even serious? Like, why is this happening? And it's just really frustrating. And eventually you have to adjust. Yeah.
I got a compilation of YouTube videos on my forum, on my FC, of people like going through the lines, nothing happening.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
Digitati people running through each other, nothing happening.
Jeez. And so that takes like a ridiculous amount more coordination than other players who are actually having like closer to server, right?
Well, we just need to implement different tactics. As simple as that. It's like I said, we need to adjust so we can fight against the latency. We could fight against the latency back in the day.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
now with the new servers though, it's different.
It's completely different. And was it hard to adjust not having lag?
I can say that like the first week, I felt I was playing a new game. It felt like I was playing a totally new game. Really.
Like you could actually do what you thought was intended. You could play visually. Like you could see the mechanics happening.
Double OGCDs going off much easier. Popping potions, much faster. I've mapped out, for example, a parse on the dummy of 3 minutes and 30, which usually what Bart does, and we get around 2 extra GCDs, man, since the EU servers.
Well, so are players still having issues with it though? Are any players having issues, or is it pretty much fixed?
Well, if you count players from Russia, Middle East, and whatnot, they basically went from 250 to 280 ms to what we had back when we were in NA. So for them, they have the exact same problems that we had before, but at least it's not
playable.
as bad. It's playable, and it's not as bad as it was before.
Enigma, do you have any people that you play with that are still experiencing issues, or is everybody like, no, this is gravy train, great?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not like significant issues or anything. And if someone experiences an issue, it's just provider related, not game related or server related. So no. But what Krietor said, actually, I think the most two important things were the pods. Like the difference you would see on the pods, like before you had to press on the pod and wait like 2 GCDs for the pod to pop, but after you press it and it's instantly activated. Are you serious? Like, and the double GCD as well. Like that was extremely amazing. Like there's a huge difference performance-wise. And also one more thing is like on bosses you can sweat the dodging a bit more. Like you don't have to dodge very fast, like the paddle on your feet. Like you can wait and dodge it until the last second, because you say, okay, I want to finish my cast and dodge right after. Something you could not do before the EU servers. Yeah. That's overall, but much better.
I can tell you already, the players that most profit from us having EU servers were ninjas.
Yep.
Ninjas literally raged.
How do you guys even play Ninja? Like I can't play it now even with no latency. Like I have issues still.
1, 2, 3. Now, boom.
Right. Jeez. Like it's not even like remotely efficient for DPS. I mean, you guys should just go. Why don't you just play like Black Mage the entire time?
No, I think the class that is like the most easiest to play in terms of latency, high latency problems in Final Fantasy, it would probably be Summoner,
Mm-hmm.
maybe Summoner, like dot classes,
Right.
because you just need to
Even
put it, and it's not
yeah,
like you're constantly you need like constantly a rotation going on
yeah.
to be able to keep up, you know. So I think since most of the damage comes from the pet and the dots, I think it's like the most lag friendly
Mm,
class in Final Fantasy at the moment.
I gotcha. Okay, so
Even healers are fine. Even healers are fine
hmm,
Oh yeah,
with like if you learn how to cancel your casts properly, it's still fine. It's doable. I would say the the hardest like DPS
mm-hmm.
are you need to have low ping to play to do efficiently good DPS. That's when obviously you're doing top tier DPS, not
Right.
just you know that like ping versus high ping, low ping versus high will make a huge difference on DPS classes. Then you have the tanks, then you have the healers. I would say.
since the EU servers, like a lot of new players from EU started popping up on FF logs ranks,
Yep.
like
Yeah.
going much higher than before.
And that's pretty awesome. I mean, that also kind of leads into how the raid scene's going to look for 2 point or 3.2, right?
Well, we
Uh,
hope so.
yeah, I mean, when we were talking about 3.0, you guys didn't have the servers.
Yep.
And so it was really difficult for you guys to get through content if quickly in any way at all.
Over
But
1,000 wipes on A3S.
yeah. So do you guys expect you're going to have better chances with world progression?
Well, if you compare at the amount of teams that exist in NA in Japan and the amount of hardcore teams that are actually going in Europe, I still think we still have a lesser chance than NA in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
simply due to the amount of players that we have. But now that we have the servers and basically now we don't have any excuses,
Right.
I think it's time for us to step it up a bit more, and hopefully we can get better ranks. I'm not saying world first, but at least top three.
Okay.
I might see, for example, Black Hope. Black Hope is really back in the game
Mm-hmm.
from Mughal. They have a really strong team. We also have Silvaria from Odin. They're also pretty strong. They have like 2 or 3 teams going hardcore. There's My Free Company from Angered. We're also gonna go hardcore. There's maybe like 2 or 3 other free companies that are going to go extremely hardcore. So we will see, man.
Okay.
But compare that pool of 5 to 10 free companies that are going hardcore in Europe, you have like 20 in NA, and you probably have like 30 in Japan, or if not even more.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Enigma, do you have any ambitions to do world first progression?
On this patch, I don't think so because we couldn't go hardcore
Mm-hmm.
due to we have some people that got a new job in our group. We couldn't really match the schedule to hardcore progression. We're gonna do raid every day, but we are limited in terms of hours.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna try to do hardcore during weekends and stuff, but I think we're gonna get a competitive spot, but we don't have the time to get top three. I think
So it'd be more
it's
like
just terms
server
of
first instead of like world first, right?
Yeah,
maybe
probably.
we will
Yeah.
see.
I
Okay.
mean, NA has Elysium, although their main team broke up. It like their new team looks insanely strong. Um, although Lucrezia broke up, I think they went to a different free company, and like most of the people is still in that new free company. Therefore, it's just Lucrezia under a new name with probably 2 or 3 new players. So, you know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like they disappeared at all. So yeah, we're still
Yeah.
gonna have a really fun progression time. I think this time
It's
around.
it's really awesome to see all the excitement that's coming out of people who are doing world first content for this next patch. I love seeing all the posts, and definitely shout out to Miyuni and Layla and all of them over there. Elysium. I'll see Miyuni's post every once in a while. Like as soon as the video came out, like I don't know if he thought that Twitter was limited to 10 words or like maybe 15 characters, but he's just like,
Yeah.
oh, this is awesome. And I love seeing that kind of excitement from people who
Oh, yeah.
actually went really hardcore into the game and still have a love for the game in the end. So what I want to say also is you said there wasn't a lot of people really in EU doing hardcore content. There's only like a handful of groups, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, and that therefore makes it extremely hard to recruit new members.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely
that's
hard,
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
especially for hardcore.
So how do you guys even find hardcore players over in the EU?
I don't know, man. It's it.
It's quite
it's
hard.
basically it's literally really hard. It's
Mhm.
like we need to hope that a good group breaks up so we can get some of the few players that that group has, you know?
Right. I mean, that's the so you could have like maybe 100 really solid players. Do you think that would be accurate? That do hardcore content?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think, Enigma?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
How many
Sorry.
how many players do you think actually do hardcore content over there? Like 100 or so in the EU?
In a EU server? It's about 6 to 7 groups, I think, in total.
Yeah.
Like if you multiply it. Yeah.
Then
So
plus all the
by-
people
by-
supporting
not even
them too.
100. It's not even 100, man. It's
by,
like,
by
I don't know,
hardcore
60,
meaning
70.
like you by hardcore you mean progression, yeah, like
Yeah,
you're gonna take a
progression, yeah.
week off and stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't say more than 7 to 8 groups.
Okay.
It's
Well,
like I got now players that I had 2 years ago.
Hmm.
I got them back. They went somewhere else and now they're back, you know? And because I know that they are good, you know, I'm not gonna let them go somewhere else
Mhm.
when I can have them in my own free company. So yeah,
Right.
it's really hard. And then again, you might have extremely talented players that are basically in casual mid-core groups that simply don't have the ambition to go hardcore.
Right.
But they are extremely talented, and if they would take the time to do that, they would probably be top tier players for world progression.
All right.
I think. Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry to interrupt.
No,
Like
go.
I think the hardcore progression groups might increase if we will get a steady line on the progression content, because you see, like the progression is way derailed right now. Like we're on the same. If you will see, we're on the same patch for 8 months. The patch like. They come out very inconsistently. People can't really plan vacation sometimes. The
Don't you
difficulty
guys get like
is
3 months of vacation in Europe? Isn't that the thing, right?
no.
What?
Everyone gets 3 months
No,
of no.
no.
It's 1 month per year.
Yeah,
That's still better than what I
month a year.
get.
Yeah.
The thing though is like the difficulty is also here and there. Like you had Savage, Alexander,
Mhm.
where you needed more than 1 week to
Oh, yeah.
complete. Then you probably this content will need maximum 1 week to complete, but people don't really know. Like if you don't really know what's coming to you, like you're not really gonna devote yourself too much. I don't know, like I really feel the urge to say like we need to have a straight line on how the patches will be released, how the content will be released, and what the difficulty, what they want the difficulty to be. Because once we have the difficulty of Final Coil, then we have the Alexander, then we have an uncertainty of what's gonna be on 3.2. You know, like
Yeah.
that's like affecting a lot progression players, because as Square Enix themselves told, there are tons of people transferring between servers because their statics keeps disbanding.
Right.
Like this shows it, and I believe that when the game will get its own pace and progression content release, the hardcore and the competitiveness will go and rise, in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If they would change the competitive scene in terms of hardcore progression to like a difficulty where we could easily say, okay, 2 weeks is
Yeah.
the spot to clear everything.
Well, I mean, this time everyone's kind of estimating 1 week, right?
Everybody is
Yeah.
estimating 1 week and a half. You know,
Right.
that's what we're aiming for also in Anger. But you know, who knows? Maybe it's 2 weeks, maybe it's 3 weeks. We don't know.
If it goes that long, then it's a completely different story.
If it goes over 2 weeks, basically people just go back to their normal jobs
Normal
and we start.
schedule. Yeah.
I literally
normal
think every
schedule.
group is expecting 1 week, and then after that 1 week, if it's still going, it's
Well-
just oh well, that's what it is.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the most frustrating part about Alexander Savage, or at
Mm.
least Guardian's part, is that it took so many weeks to clear it.
Right.
It's like it broke statics. It
I
literally
remember-
broke statics.
I remember you talking to me when you were. I was trying to get you on a show, and you're like, "I can't get on the show until we clear A4S.
Oh yeah.
Can't touch it until we have to clear A4S." And it's like, that's
Oh, yeah.
pretty cool. And it was been a while after the game came out, at least Heaven's Ward, because the delay in getting the content out, plus how long it took after that. So that's kind of funny now that I remember that, how long it really did take everyone to really clear that content.
Yeah, man. Like 6 weeks, 7 weeks, something
Yeah.
like that.
That would be around the average, I think, for a lot of the groups, right?
Yeah. That's
A lot of the
around-
hardcore groups
yeah.
out there. Yeah.
Around the yeah.
So when
It
you
was
guys,
insane, man. 6 weeks is just
right? Well, I mean, let's say you're not dealing with a lot of hardcore players, but you're actually going in and you're working with Party Finder and you're working with Duty Finder.
oh
It-
my god,
Oh, no.
man.
Oh, what is the
Party
Duty Finder?
Finder?
First, Party Finder. Let's start with Party Finder. What's the Party Finder like over in European servers?
Well, I'm not really doing Party Finder now, but I was doing a lot in the past. It's okay-ish. Like you can find some groups that will get the clear, but I don't think we have a lot of differences with an A anyway.
Mhm.
Like so you will get often a lot of groups that will wipe once or twice and will just disband. Or you will get groups that will say, "Oh, XP only" and stuff like that. Then you will have people that never cleared it before. Classic Party Finder stuff.
Right.
But it's nice, like to go hop around and help people that will actually stay and like wait until you clear it. There are groups like that as well. Well, just whatever you will find.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, that sounds kind of familiar to NA, to be honest with you. I mean,
Oh,
on the
yeah.
smaller servers that we
Oh,
have
yeah.
over here.
It's
I mean,
like,
trap groups are just a common thing.
it's literally it's like fucking Russian roulette, man. I'm telling you, it's insane.
I try to go
Sometimes-
in with low expectations, right? And so they're like, "Oh, this is a Thornton X farm group," and I go in there and I say, "All right,
Farm group.
it's a farm group. I'm gonna get in there, and if we clear this once, I've succeeded."
Yeah.
And that makes me feel good after we clear it that one time, because we usually sometimes clear it one time, and that's
Yeah,
it.
man. Because certainly farm group means that you're farming several times the boss. But no.
Right?
But no.
No, it's one time.
Even if you get it, and you kill it one time and it drops a weapon that one person needs, it is like, okay, I got the weapon. Cheers,
Yeah.
guys.
I mean,
Bye.
can you blame them
Yeah.
too? After spending an hour on there, and then the weapon drops, you're like, "Okay, this is all I wanted. I just want to spend an hour on this fight. That's all I had time for. I got my weapon. I'm not wasting any more
I'm
time.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. But okay.
It's bad, man. It's bad.
All right.
It's as bad as NA, as all the
So
stories
if I
from
just
NA.
wanted to
yeah.
complain to you guys, and I was like, "Man, Party Finder sucks," you guys would be right on board, and you'd be like, "Yeah,
Oh,
it sucks."
It sucks.
All right. How many? If you look at like the highest point in day on your servers individually, I don't know if are you guys on the same server?
No.
We were, but not anymore.
Okay, so if you look at the high point of the day, how many listings do you usually see in Party Finder?
On Ragnarok server, you usually can scroll down to twice.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
I get one page usually at most.
On peak is about the same, not as big as Ragnarok on servers, but it's like more than 10 parties on peak.
But yeah, on peak you see a lot of A1s and A2s,
Mm-hmm.
and there's like one A3S
Right.
that barely has any success, and A4S is non-existent on Party Finder.
Right. And by the
Good
way,
stream.
everyone, the stream's okay. I think we just got quality. I hope so, at least. That would suck if it dropped out for sure, though. We'll see. Everyone, they're saying it's quality, so just refresh.
It's saying it's offline.
All right, refresh it. If it's not quality, then they just hate me completely. Well, somebody said it. I don't know. We'll see if it went offline or not.
It's also fun for me as well.
Oh no! It says I'm streaming. There's no issues here.
Oh, no,
Okay.
now it's back.
Okay,
back.
now you're back. Yeah. Now
All
you're
right.
back.
All right, we're back. We held it. We held up. We're holding up. Is it quality now or?
Yeah,
It is
Good
quality.
quality.
it's good. It's good.
All right, now we have more people who can watch the show. All right, awesome. It just they wanted to completely take us down to do it. I guess I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
So rest in peace, all the people who went AFK for a second. We lost all those viewers, but that's okay because you guys are missing out anyways. Now I also want to ask you guys about Duty Finder too. And so, tell me how Duty Finder works out. Is it still just as bad over there as it is in NA?
Yeah.
Do you
Well-
want to go first, Enigma?
Go, Enigma. Go.
I mean, yeah, you go on Reddit, for example, and you see all those nightmares that you have a roulette for like 45 minutes or some stuff like that. Yeah, that's true. I mean, Duty Finder is Duty Finder. You're gonna have like the majority of people of this game that, unfortunately, is not well educated on how to play the game, because
Right.
that's what I consider it.
That's the best way
So
to
you-
put it too. You're very
Yeah.
kind for saying that.
Like,
yeah.
you're gonna have, unfortunately, the 100 DPS Dragoon or 100 DPS tank, and you will be a healer and you will be like top DPS. That's fine, but yeah, like it's quite a nightmare, honestly. It's sad that you think about queuing on Duty Finder for something, and you have this on your background of your head. Oh, I'm just gonna spend an hour doing roulette, so I have to find a pre-made to do it.
Right.
Or, and I'm not gonna blame the players 100% for that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there needs to be more education about the game, and people need to be less sensitive about that. I mean, you playing the game a little bit better. I don't want to be misunderstood here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to sound like I'm saying, oh, you guys should all play like pro or some stuff like that. No, far beyond that. Playing like pro it's a good thing. It's an option. It's up to you if you want to do it or not. But playing the basics of your role is something different than not doing even the basics.
Yeah.
Like you should push yourself, and the game should push you. It's a mix of both to at least achieve the basic requirements on how to play your job. Just the basic. And above the basic should be just optional. So yeah.
And a lot of people don't know the
that's
basic, really. Yeah.
Indeed.
Let me tell you a story
All right.
about a day that I was streaming and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna finish my relic today. This is awesome. I just need a few law tombstones. Okay, let's do 2 fractals and be done with it,
Mm-hmm.
Fractal takes like what, 15 minutes? And we're done with it. Cool.
Yep.
I actually streamed for 3.5 hours trying to do 2 fractals.
Really? 3.5 hours.
Really. 3.5 hours.
You can't even stay in there that long, can you?
No, man. I was basically like, then I got out. I had a group that took like almost to the end of the duty minutes thingy. And then I got out. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to queue again. But I'm hopeful that I'm not going to get a shit party again, And I was like, I'm pretty sure it's not.
There's
gonna
no way.
happen.
That's the worst you've ever had.
There's
Why would you
no
have it
way
again?
That's gonna happen,
Right.
I queue. I waited like I don't know. Queues as a tank is pretty smooth because I just went into as a darknet, so it make it faster the queues. And I literally got a worse party than before,
Yeah.
where only the healer was the actual player that was actually performing okay-ish in terms of healing. He was keeping everyone alive. But I literally had a ninja like spamming Aeolian Edge.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a black mage spamming Fire 1 on AoE.
That's
You're
crazy.
lucky that he was spamming Fire 1, dude.
He was just spamming
can
Fire
have-
1. From the
you can
from
have a
the
black
beginning-
mage spamming
from the
Blizzard.
beginning until the end.
Was
of
he
the
a
fight.
bot?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Damn
It's
fly.
possible.
All right. So, what?
I literally raged, But then
Well-
again, if I'm gonna say something on chat, I'm probably gonna. oh my god, I pay subscription, I play the game at my own pace, so fuck you, shut up and shit like that. So I avoid to even say something like that, you know?
Are you guys going to be mentors, by the way, when the mentor system comes out?
I
Probably,
don't know, man.
but
That's
kind
the
of
first thing
sucks.
I'm doing.
I don't know.
I am ready
I'm
to
not really.
educate the population as much as I can.
I'm hopeful
I'm not
that the
really
Hall of
interested.
Novice actually shows you a rotation that you need to do
Yep.
on
Yep.
certain specific things,
I don't know,
so
like,
that people actually learn from the game and not from other people. Because if they hear
Yes.
from
Yes.
other
Yes.
people, they're like, "You're criticizing me." I
Yeah.
mean, I played this game to play this game at my own pace. Come on, shut up.
yeah.
And
Well, I mean, when I think honestly, I don't know if this is just a perception a lot of NA players have, or maybe I'm just the only one in the world. But like, I always had this perception. Okay, well, if they're in a different country, they're better than me. I don't know why. They're better at the game than I am. And so it's kind of humbling to realize that you guys have as many ignorant players, and they are ignorant because they aren't very educated to how they should be playing their class, and just a standard basic rotation that should be laid out by just reading the
oh, yep.
ability tooltips, right? And so that's everywhere. You guys have it just as bad as we got it.
But why do the Japanese have such a different gap in Duty Finder and Party Finder? It's insane.
I don't know. Watching some of
It's like
Arthur's
they're
streams, like, and hearing him complain about people in his group, I don't know if it's exactly the same. Maybe they have issues over there too. Uh,
well, I'm pretty sure they have issues. We can have issues everywhere, but I still, from what I hear, it's like it's so much better there.
mhm.
They literally have learning parties on Party Finder, and they go to Duty Finder to clear shit.
I think people there are less selfish. I think that's the thing. Like I think Western MMO players are more self-centered, if you want, um, than people from Asia. Like I don't know. I think it's just whole mentality issue that you can't really change.
Okay. Uh, we should have got
Well,
Arthur on here to talk about JP too.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He's done a lot of it, you know.
Yeah. So another thing with European servers is that you guys, like ENA servers are English for sure, but European servers are pretty much English too, because you have a
No,
lot of different. No, well, I mean, you have all these different languages that everybody's speaking, right?
yeah, we
So
have.
everyone has to centralize on. Is it usually English, which is the secondary, and you guys are just like go
Oh,
forward?
we have around 8 servers. I think it's 8 servers, isn't it,
Mm-hmm.
Enigma?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, around
Okay.
8 to 10 servers, something like that. And it's basically these are your servers. You can go somewhere. But no,
Mm-hmm.
if you mess up and you create a character on Shiva, you basically have to. You will be playing 99% of the time with German players.
Oh, really?
If you create a character on Moogle, you're basically be playing with French 24/7, like 24/7 with French players.
Well, that's like ridiculous. Like you're starting out the game and you're like, oh, look at all these European
Oh
servers.
yeah,
You can
yeah.
join whichever.
This server looks cool. Yeah, let's make a character here. And
Moogles, I love Moogles.
it's like baguette and what?
Baguettes. Oh,
No man,
Jesus.
it's like it's yeah. They should have like separated, like make some kind of separation there. Because in Europe you have as main languages you have French, you have German, of course you have normal English, and you also have the Russian one. That it's not that bad at the moment, in my opinion. It's not that bad.
Okay.
On other MMOs, it's much worse.
So I
Yeah.
mean, what server or your server creator? What is that? More of an English European server, or what kind of server is
Oh
it?
yeah, it's multi-language, man. On Ragnarok server, we literally have FCs, like a fully fledged FC that is fully fledged Spanish.
Hmm.
We have like 2 or 3 FCs that are totally Italian, like 100% Italian. Um, we got probably one German and at the moment I think one French, and like the rest is like a multicultural. Like if you look at into my static, I literally have 2 Italians, 2 German, one Portuguese, one from Netherlands, one French, and who's the last one? I don't can't even remember. But it's like from all types of countries. It's totally different. Like from the NA perspective, at least, or the JP perspective. Of course, you have quite a few players that play on the Japanese server because they want to talk Japanese with the Japanese players and
Like
stuff like
Arthas,
that.
right? He tries to
I
go
think
to
so, yeah.
yeah. Enigma, what about your server? How's that for language?
Well, we have a lot of English people, but there are also French people, German, couple of Spanish I've met. You can see Danish people. But yeah, that's most around.
It
I've
works
seen
out pretty well
a
there
couple
too.
of Greek people as well, and I was like surprised. You know, I barely see any Greek people in this game, but I've heard a lot of them in Phoenix actually. So yeah,
Do you guys use the auto translate function a lot?
just to troll
Sometimes
people.
we have to.
Right.
Uh, okay, Enigma uses a troll, but sometimes when you are trying to explain something to someone and he literally doesn't understand what you're talking about because he has the game
Yeah.
on another language, you need to use that.
All right. So I mean, it's actually kind of useful. I mean, I on our server, everyone just trolls with it the entire time.
I would say, I mean, it is useful, but the person that will play this game and he will not even speak English is not going to do much anyway, even if you use auto translate. Like, yeah, he will maybe understand the term you're referring to, but when you play this game only on your language, English aside, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I mean, you create space only for your same language people and not for everyone. That's a really, really bad thing, in my opinion.
So
Oh,
how
yeah.
do you guys? Does that make it hard? Does that make like Party Finder, Duty Finder, and going into groups with random people like a lot more difficult? All the time.
Certainly.
Okay.
Duty Finder, yes.
100%.
Party Finder, Party,
Party
on
Finder,
Party Finder you can check.
Oh, because it
usually,
starts out
yeah,
like you can tell what they're okay.
yeah. Usually, if they are like writing in French, automatically you don't even touch it. You know, if you're
Doesn't really
if you're
count. You just ignore
you
it.
don't even care what is writing there. You know, so he's basically just wants to play with French players or Italian players or whatever. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So in Party Finder is not that big of a deal. But if you go into Duty Finder and you say, "Can we do this? Can we do that?"
Yep.
Anything, and they either don't respond or they just use auto translate and then say like hello and stuff like that. And when they usually do that, I automatically know that they are not English or they're not able to speak that much of English.
Yeah.
So
Right.
yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that's
That being
that's a
said-
really crappy situation for you guys.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that means that you guys actually do have it a lot worse than we do because I
Oh,
don't ever
and
run
talking
into that.
about recruiting people
Yeah.
for hardcore, yeah.
Yeah.
No, let's recruit
In
French
your
people
language,
that don't-
right?
Let's recruit French people or Italian people or Spanish people that don't know how to speak English. How
Yeah.
the hell are we gonna do progression with those guys?
Yeah,
They
that's
can be
tough.
the best players in the world, but if we cannot communicate, it's not gonna work.
Right. That sucks, man. Well, I guess it does put you guys at a disadvantage for world progression then too. Man,
It's not for progression. It's just to find other players, you know,
good
to
players
have
in general.
to find good players in a English static. Because, for example, Black Ops is fully fledged French, I think, and they have pretty good success in EU.
Right.
So that's not a problem for them, I guess.
All right. So let us go into a couple of viewer questions I have here. That there's a couple in here, and it seems like we have two here from George John Frank. Sounds like an American guy. Interesting. So parentheses newbie here. I was always guessed that Final Fantasy XIV was meant to be less latency dependent than other MMORPGs, and that was why the cooldown on abilities was much higher.
No,
I don't. You're still like even when you get into those phases, and this is just my opinion. You guys can correct me if I'm completely wrong. Even when you could have like 10-second long GCD timers, but you still have things in between that you have to press. And then when you press it, if you're pressing it with a second delay, that's a second longer that you can't do DPS.
Exactly.
exactly.
That's true.
Yeah, and so it's like impossible to really make it to where, oh well, this is a lag-friendly game, and the servers. The way they do the servers makes it that much harder. Because, I mean, they have it in a way that you'll see people rubber banding and everything running around your screen, but that's normal. That's not like
It's like,
anything abnormal.
I think back in the day, the server latency was at around like 5 seconds, and they reduced it to like 3.
Right.
or one,
Yeah,
3 or 1, something
during
like that.
during 2.0 it was
Yeah,
it was
it was
bad,
really,
like,
really, really bad. Literally
especially if you were not
unplayable.
close. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they had
the
to fix
problem
it,
with
man.
the game, yeah, yeah, like exactly how they did. But the problem with the game is that it's a little bit deceiving as well, because it seems fluid when you play and it seems extremely
Right.
responsive. But because of the system of how the game is designed, you can't sometimes see when you're lagging, and you will see it only when it's too late.
Right.
Like you can't see real time that, like, you right click your character or you press your button and it's going slower. Your characters move correctly, but you can't see that the server is delaying the
Oh
registering.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's like literally you
That's
have,
why. Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, you
No,
literally
no, no,
have
no. Go ahead.
a puddle. You know,
Yeah.
you can go out. The puddle is the animation is of an explosion is happening, and you can move right back in.
Right.
If you do something similar to that in WoW, you would die.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
No. Yeah. And I seriously cannot imagine having to deal with that on a daily basis. Like even playing Machinist, when I was playing it, and like I would hit my bullet, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I'm good. I try to hit my keys as fast as I can, and I have bullets up and it's ready to go, and the proc happened, but I somehow still get the register of the move before the proc happens. So I'm having to delay myself and wait like, I don't know, zero point 0.1, 0.2 seconds, somewhere like ridiculously small. But it does affect it in the long run because I can't just spam it and get those moves out.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
when you're dealing with high latency, you're having to wait like zero point 0.5 seconds to make sure that those moves are going off. And I would
yeah.
literally
And
go
then
insane.
the lag spike sometimes it's also pretty awesome. But I think lag spikes everyone has it, so
Yeah.
that's not a big deal.
All right, so we got another question here from George John Frank. In WoW, the European community still dominates U.S. in terms of world first progression, even though we have more players in the U.S. Do you think that will ever start to happen in Final Fantasy 14?
Well, as an EU player, I hope so.
Yeah.
Simple as that. I hope so.
You hope that EU starts
we
to
hope,
dominate, yeah.
yeah, we hope that we are that Europeans start pulling a bit more of the weight and start to get on those top 3, at
Right.
least for the last bosses. I really hope so.
I'm, you
I
know,
hope so.
I want to see how it
Just
turns
having
out because
just
it's going to
having
be really
NA
exciting.
in Japan all the time is just, you know,
Yeah.
Boring.
it's
It would be
boring
nice
for us.
if the first 3 groups was Japan, NA. Here's Doom Train, by the way, if you guys can hear it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Doom Train there. NA, Japan, and EU were all in the top 3. That's what I want to see out of this turn. But you can't really predict that. I would hope that all the great players from each region would just funnel in a group of 8 top players and just make it happen. But can't do that. You're still competing with other people, right? Yeah. And some people hate other people because they called them a bad name.
It's still, it doesn't matter. It's a lot to consider during progression. It's like people are under stress because they want to get that world first, but they fuck it up, and like it's a whole nother ball game when you are aiming to do some kind of ranking when
Right.
you're rating.
Okay, so I got a couple of more trolley questions here. This is, of course, from Hacks Etc.
Of course.
Yep. Krietor, what excuse will EU players use this patch when they get data center last?
When they will get data center last?
That's what he said.
Okay. Well, I don't know, man.
Not enough players.
Yeah, man.
That's a legitimate thing. Yeah, it's language barriers.
Yeah, man. Language barriers. I cannot speak French, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All those good French players you can't get.
Yeah, man. All those extremely good Italian, Spanish, and French players that I cannot get. It's, you know.
Yeah. Enigma. Can you think of any good excuses?
Not really.
No
Not
excuses.
really.
It's gonna
There's
happen
no
or not
excuse.
happen.
There's no excuses, man. We literally have to do it
Step it up.
somehow.
That's all.
All right.
Step it up as a region. That's all. Like,
We just need to step it up. We really need to step it up.
Yeah, I believe you guys can do it. We have another troll question in here, but it's kind of one of those that like you're beating a dead horse kind of question.
Okay.
I can ask you. It's It's involving vouchers.
Okay, cool.
All right, Pedal Road. How many Amazon vouchers will you be giving out this time?
All of them, man.
All of them.
Yeah. According to Solitude, we buy players for 4,000 euros. So
Enigma, is that true?
Yeah, man, it's true,
No.
man.
It's not.
Oh my god. So yeah, whatever.
Oh my gosh. That's every time I hear it, I'm like, that joke just doesn't fall away. It just keeps
doesn't
going.
fade away, man. Doesn't fade away.
That's all right. Okay. Well, we're kind of getting close to the end of the hour here before we need to start setting up for the next show. You guys, it feels weird. It really does feel weird only doing 1 hour segment. I feel like
Okay, man.
I feel like I should have another hour here with you guys.
Feels bad, man.
It feels bad. Enigma, man, it's okay. One day you'll get better upload too, and we'll get you a webcam running.
I actually have the date when I'm getting uploaded.
Oh, when is that?
Oh, really?
End of April. Yeah, I'm upgrading my
Ooh.
connection to fiber end of April. So.
All right.
So we can have him with a
With
two-man
camera?
Skype
Yeah.
call. Whoa!
Yeah.
It's just the infrastructure issue where I live. So like they don't have optic cable, optic fiber. So they're on the process of installing it right now, and it will be here by the end of April. So
Yeah.
it's good. Better late than never.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Krietor, man, I definitely appreciate you coming back too. This is the third time I think I've had you on, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and we need to get
No
into
problem.
those next rounds of job discussions, which I still haven't decided what I'm going to do. If I'm going to do like per job, or if I'm going to actually do, just roles in general. Because I need to do the melee one, which I might do next week.
Ooh,
I don't
nice.
know. I don't have anyone planned for it or anything because I've been putting so much work into this show.
I can give you a few good names if you want to.
Yeah, I'm. There's so many good ninjas I know.
Oh yeah, there's insanely good players.
Yeah.
If you look into melee,
Yeah.
I think you might have to separate the melee show into different brackets.
That's what people were saying, but I think you can still have a show based around the general mindset of what the melee players are actually bringing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And there's Monk and Dragoon that I need to figure out, but I have like so many names for Ninja. It's insane how many people I know that play Ninja, but not on my server. Apparently, no one plays Ninja on my server. I spent like a month looking for a Ninja.
Like,
all right.
I'm happy for ninjas though. Yeah, like they got so many updates along with the EU servers.
Mhm.
They should be happy now.
Oh yeah.
yeah, they're in an extremely good spot at the moment.
I still can't stand it, even with the fix to lag that they did. Having to sit there and go 1, 2, 3, boom, it's rough. I want to do 1, 2, 3, boom. Right? I don't even have to think about it. I just want to just be done. So many lag bunnies, man. I literally can't even remotely compete with my machinist for DPS. It's how bad I'm with Ninja, and that shouldn't be the case. Okay. All right. Well, let's go ahead and end up this show here, guys. Is there any shout outs you guys want to do before we switch over and start setting up the next show?
Yeah, just shout out to my team, and let's hope we can do some good progression.
Rooting
in
for you,
3.2,
man. I want to see you up
That's it.
there. Enigma?
Yeah, shout out to my group and shout out to all Europe. To
Yeah.
Oh yeah, to all
like,
Europe.
Oh, yeah.
keep to all Europe that plays Final Fantasy, obviously, and
Yeah.
to keep the level high this patch and show some good stuff. Which
I
I'm
need to
pretty
get
sure we will.
I need to get more people from Europe on the show.
Let's
I need
good
to also
results.
stop trying to take all the European players that Krietor knows, because it's like I have everyone is like spawning from Krietor's knowledge since I've had him on the show, and I have like so many people from his pool. I gotta
but
break. Maybe do you
Mike,
know all of them?
If you literally want players from Silvar, I can give you players from Silvar. I can give you players from Solitude. I can give you players from anywhere, man. It's like easy. You just need to contact them.
Yeah. And I'm glad I did. I mean, it's been such an amazing journey seeing all these different players and talking to all these people that are
definitely.
really awesome in the community. But I love having this platform to go in there and actually talk to you guys. I'm not great at anything that you guys do. I'm not a great bard. I'm not a great scholar. I'm trying to be. But it's fun to talk about it either way. So
It's okay. Just do a couple hour sessions with me, and you will be top scholar.
Okay, I got you. As soon as crossover stuff starts happening, man. Are you streaming yet?
No,
Enigma?
waiting to upgrade my connection.
Oh, okay. That's right. How, if you can't even get like a webcam over to me, how do you?
Potato connection, man.
Let me give you guys a shout out here. Oh, I don't know if that shout just works. I'm just shouting at you, like I was doing to Enigma when I thought he was late. I'm gonna shout out to you anyways, even though if you don't stream. There you go.
Oh, so kind.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming on the show, and thank you for everyone for watching this segment. We're gonna switch over into the lore hour, which is completely different than this episode. But we're bringing on Ethis and Pukajutsu, who is actually in the chat right now, to talk about 3.2 main storyline and kind of go over some of the details that actually he caught on the trailer. So we'll actually know what's going on and have a good discussion there. But guys, stay tuned and see you in about 10 minutes or so. Guys, say bye.
Yeah, man.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks
thank
a
you
lot
for
for
having
inviting
us
us,
at the
man.
show.
Yeah.
Thank us, man.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here.
Anytime.
Thank you.